What's up with it, fam? What up, Mac heads? Feels good to be back in front of the camera today. So in today's line of stories, I want to give a shout out to 8-9 on up, even though he dissed in a voiceover.
You know, we talking loud.
I gotta get this dude his props on his journalistic skills, meaning he at least, when he gets in his feelings or whatever, he will at least go and do his homework. Shout out to 8-9 on up. Let's get into today's true story.
How you like me now? I'm in the mix. How you like me now? I'm in the mix. How you like me now? I'm in the mix. How you like me now? I'm in the mix. It's 1980.
That was it. I never stopped banging. I started banging hard, then I got so hard till it was a shame.
Welcome to another episode of KM Video True Stories. So a while back, I had done this story that had dudes in an uproar. Dudes said I was lying, like they always do, about a sea of red showing up in court, you know. And well, I said some dudes that made a statement, and I didn't name no names. I may have showed some documents, I'm not sure, but let me say, I'm way past that. So I'm not gonna be dissing no hood. I may tell a story, but I'm not gonna diss a hood. I got some comments from some Crips saying F me and all that. Oh, that's cool. Like I said, we grew up with that. That's nothing new. Dude's been threatening the 60s all our lives, man. All my career, let me say that. And so it's nothing new, man. And it, you know, I wasn't dissing no set. I'm not gonna diss no set. I'm gonna just tell my stories, man. And if y'all got a problem with telling the truth, or at least telling my truth, man, that's something you gotta deal with. Because I'm not out for the drama, but I'm not gonna suppress my life stories, the dangers that I've been in and the conflicts that I've been in and the good times, the glory days and all that old stuff, right? Bottom line, kids, don't gangbang. Don't get involved with no gangs if you're not already involved. But so this dude Cue Ball, I believe, I don't know if it's a little Cue Ball or big Cue Ball, but 8-9 on up interviewed him. And to get to the point, he basically confirms my entire story. He leaves some things out. He doesn't detail everything, but he gets right to the point.
If you could tell me one hell of a memorable moment with the homie GQ Ball before we close out, which one would come to your mind?
Man, I done heard this story on other podcasts too. But I'm gonna tell the story too myself, but I'm gonna tell it from my end though. That day we went to the mall, and we got into the 60s, and they followed us back to the hood. We was at Fast Gas. They came up dumping, and we was all there. You know, my whole, you know, me and Ball, Dulo, Taco, was gang of us, because we banged crazy in the mall that day. Big Dulo, all of us.
So I'm like, man, we gonna mop these dudes up. Wait till Slip Rock and Caboo and them come up out of there, it's on. When I see the strap, I take off running inside Bertoni's, and Big Slip Rock like, cuz, what you running for? I say, them niggas got a gun. He like, who? I'm like, them niggas. He like, man, fuck them niggas. I'm like, that's what I said until I seen that gun. So Slip Rock was like a leader to some of us, because he was always leading the charge.
Slip Rock, born in 65. He grew up south of the track, 747, where he started to grind. Between 67 and Florence, he got it going. In hood, crippin' and watching our performance.
Slip gets to selling up out of there. So we all behind Slip, and them dudes run. They take off running. So Slip Rock like, oh, them busters? Man, them niggas is busters. So now I feel twisted. I ain't even gonna lie. I feel twisted. I feel like a buster. And I gotta get some get back. So I say, let's go on up the stairs and get the burners. I'ma chase them niggas down. The response has to be immediate because I know they all together and I know they gonna be in that hood. And Slip Rock and Deacon, they say, man, you're not gonna catch them dudes. Them dudes is gone. Nah, I'm going through their hood. I'm going up and down every block until I see them dudes. And I say, here they go. And Slip Rock, like, what you gonna do? Man, we finna get these fools, but we only got one gun. And I'm driving. Slip pulls over in front of the gas station on Centinela. I said, give me your burner. So Slip Rock give me the 4.5.
And they dumped on us before we could take off and run. The police got us, but they didn't get Taco. Taco took off.
But this one dude, allegedly Taco, runs out in the middle of the street and starts busting back on us with like a 25. One officer writes, when we heard the shots, Officer Wayne saw a male Hispanic with no shirt and dark pants standing in the middle of the intersection of Centinela and Inglewood. The subject then ran towards the gas station, southeast corner of Centinela and Inglewood, out of sight. So they take off trying to get Taco, but they got us hemmed up.
And they bumped us up, they wrote our names down, and they end up subpoenaing us to come to court.
When I go to court in Inglewood, man, it's a sea of red in the courtroom. Ain't nothing but bloods up in there. The passenger had bailed out, so I'm the one still locked up.
So that morning, we had to go to court. We met up at the park, and we walked to the court building. We mobbed like a motherfucker to the court building. Got to the court building. We sitting in the courtroom deep.
Dude's telling you this, man. Dude's telling you this, and he says they had a meeting, and they showed up in court deep.
It was us. And then I don't know, the homie Ray Nor from CPF, he just happened to be with us for some odd reason. And we go in there, we sitting in court, and we started tripping in the courtroom. You know, we was talking loud, tripping. The DA came out, he's like, y'all come in the hall. They was like, you see the guy? We was like, nope. They was like, all right, well, y'all get out of here. So we left. So we bounced back to the hood.
And I said it myself, and I'm not scared to say it again. Them dudes had me running. The NHPs had me running in the mall. Now, he states that we followed them back to the... No, we did not follow them back to the hood. It would have been some serious consequences had we followed them back to the hood. Like I said in my original story, I felt so bad that they got my heart pumping like that. I was embarrassed with myself, and I felt like I had to do something. I had to respond, and that's why I led the troops through NHP Hood. It's just, that's how I felt at the time. That's how LA was. That's how gangbanging was at that time. That was like 1991-ish, 1991. And you know, it was them being the aggressors. And I felt like the response got to be immediately. Even though they didn't bust or nothing, they flashed the gun, and boom, we take off. So I rode to Inglewood. Boom, jump in the Suzuki Jeep, Slip Rock and them behind us. We going all through the NHPs, we don't find nobody. Coming out the NHPs to go back to the hood, boom, we spot him in a brown Cadillac. Now, I'm gonna give dude his props. I'm gonna give dude his props for confirming the story and making the story exist. Now, one thing I learned from that video, and I believe him, I truly believe him. I don't know him, I don't know his credibility, but I can hear how he talked. I can hear how he talk. He may not say some things, but he's not extra out. And he doesn't come off as no liar or no fake. You know what I mean? So I believe him when he says they asked them, do they see the guy in court? And they said no. That would make all the sense in the world when the judge threw the case out. All this time, I believe the case was thrown out because they didn't take no gunpowder test. So they failed. They made a mistake by not seeing if gunpowder was on our hands or clothes when we were arrested. The day that we got arrested, the police department was out of gunpowder tests. So they couldn't test us for gunpowder. And with all the conflicting information of who was doing the driving and who was doing the shooting, they couldn't prove who the shooter was. During the court proceedings, the judge actually banned me from the city of Inglewood for a year because of my description, and the description of the vehicle matched several phone calls of shooting incidents. The judge was on to something because that Jeep was steadily under fire. No matter where I went in LA or Inglewood, we was always getting bust on. And I also thought because we had two good lawyers, they possibly knew the judge or something. And so when the judge says, the judge referred to my lawyer, Earl Brody, as Batman, and referred to my passenger lawyer, Sammy Weiss, as Robin. Batman and Robin could not be beat in this courtroom. Case dismissed. He's throwing it out because of Batman and Robin. Batman being Earl Brody Jr. and Robin being Sammy Weiss, a Jewish lawyer that was pretty good. And Earl Brody's father had been a good lawyer and had became a judge. So I thought that had something to do with it. However, dude says they didn't point us out.
DA came out, he's like, y'all come in the hall. They was like, you see the guy? He's like, nope. He was like, all right, well, y'all get out of here.
And that's why we was released. I had no clue, you know what I mean? I just know the case had got thrown out, but he confirmed everything I said without, one little. Actually, he confirmed, just say he confirmed everything, man. Like I said, them dudes came to court, and there was a bunch of them. They had red on, homie, and Taco was in the paperwork alleged to be the shooter, and dude mentions Taco in there. So, you know what I mean? I lived my life, and I got my stories. You don't have to believe them, And you may get pissed. You may not like it. But if you gangbang, that was typical, normal, everyday lifestyle in Los Angeles. And I mean throughout the county. So that's Inglewood, Gardena, Compton, everywhere else. You know what I mean? Hawthorne and Long Beach and all that. But, yeah, no disdain, man. No disdain for them dudes. No disrespect for them dudes. And I'll say it one more time. I respect 8-9 for doing his research. And I respect Q Ball for giving an accurate account of what happened, man. But we didn't follow him back to the hood. We went because I was disappointed in myself for running when I seen that gun. You know what I mean? And so for every action, there is a reaction. That's it. That's all. I want to thank you guys for watching. Just wanted to show a little bit of credibility on this channel and let you guys know I don't make shit up. Some people may or may not confirm my stories. It don't matter to me. I just want you guys to watch them. And be sure to click that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I tell all sorts of stories here with as much respect as due to those in the story. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.
This is Los Angeles.